It was a live PA, we call, Yeah.
Do you think there are a lot of people that think they just have all the gear and then they just like turn a knob and then don't really do anything?
Yeah.
You actually did.
You can see what happened recently with Grimes, right, in Coachella, right? She was like,
no, what happened?
So like she was playing one song. I think it was so much faster than the originally tempo of the song, and she said, "Oh, sorry, there's a problem, my production," and she was blame herself later, and yeah, because yes, of course, some DJs are real artists, the guys that from Daft Punk, of course, and the guys from Detroit, that invented techno, they're really talented people like Cole Craig, Richie Hawtin, all these guys, Derek May, Juan Atkins, all these guys. But yes, there's a lot of DJs. They are not artists. They're just playing some songs. They learn how to sync, right? But I believe there's a lot of DJs that are real artists, And coming back to the UCLA, so in UCLA it was a really good opportunity to meet musicians. So I started to jam here in town for the first time, to jamming with some musicians. And then I had the opportunity to be in a class of Michael Bloom. Michael Bloom was teaching audio theory. But it was fun because in the class it was almost a conversation between me and him, because I was like the student that always like not asking questions but contributing to the class, and he always, "Hey Paulo, what do you think about this?" And it was like and one class he asked, "Is there any student that would like to show some music that you're producing or anything?" And I just raised my hands. I was the first. After the class he said, "You're singing really well, Paulo. I would like to record you. I pay you for that." And I was in his studio. He paid for me to record a voice. Yeah. He liked my voice. He said, "I like your production too." So since I went there, I asked him, "Oh, can I do an internship here with you?" And then I started to go to his studio and learn a lot with him.
You got a mentor. He was your mentor. Would you consider him a kind of mentor?
Yeah, he helped me a lot. I came from Brazil with a lot of background in recording and engineering, because I always did that, I started to record when I was like 12 with a 4-track cassette player.
That's one thing
I always recorded. So I always in Brazil, not only being in bands and playing as a musician, but I always have this producer side,
Look at this.
Yeah. I'm gear addicted, right? I have a lot of gear.
Gearhead, you were telling me about it.
Yeah, I can tell later, of course. So I forgot to say, yes, but I'm not only a musician, but I always record. I always record bands in Brazil, bands from friends, I always did these kind of things. And releasing, for example, the electronic side of it, releasing in Beatport, the websites that DJ buy music, And yes, so with Michael Bloom, of course, he teach me things, but I was already
you already had that level?
ready, I already have that level. That's why he was impressed and he invited me to be internship, because I already studied my entire life audio engineer.
But but did you call it studying, or it was just fun? It was just fun, like you had an idea, you wanted to turn
I always have the idea to work professionally, of course, but yes. And for example, with my band Plastic Gardens, I recorded the album, I produced the album as a music producer, Yes, I always have this side. I didn't develop this here in America. I always had that, of course. I use UCLA for networking a lot, and of course I use Michael Bloom as networking too, of course. Yeah. From that point, I was here in America. I didn't have that much opportunity to work. The visas, OPT. How we're gonna have the opportunity to work if you don't have a visa to work? And then I did this OPT, they call, that I can for 1 year do this internship and but I got my my green card through my marriage with my wife, because when we were here together, she became she had her green card, and she became American citizen. So I got my green card through her. But 1 month ago, I became American citizen because I had my green card for more than 5 years. So now you're looking at a guy that have 3 nationalities. I was born in Portugal.
Yeah.
So I have Portugal passport.
What age did you go to Brazil? How old were you?
I was when I was 2 years old. My parents are Brazilians. Okay, they went to Portugal. My father was studying to become a master in to be an engineer, a master in. And then I was born there. And then they went back to Brazil. And I was a little kid, 2 years old. So I lived my entire life in Brazil.
You're Brazilian,
Yeah. So and now I'm Brazilian, I'm Portuguese, and I'm American. I have those.
And if you have to take bear arms.
Exactly. I'm still waiting for the guns. I didn't earn any guns in the ceremony. I was waiting for that. But man, I never touch again. I don't know if I will be able to, but I promise. So let's see.
But you feel more Brazilian. That's what you feel.
Yeah, I feel more Brazilian than Portuguese because all my family, friends, they're from there. My entire life I lived there, and I came to America when I was in the 40s already. Yeah.
And so now you're doing music. So you went to UCLA, then you networked, and then little by little you got
exactly
in the industry, and now you're doing. What do you do now?
Yeah, let me tell you. After Michael Bloom Studios, I did there was a studio, here in LA. Everyone would like to work with music, but entertainment, it's so huge, right? So some engineers, some recording engineers start to work in entertainment. So I have the opportunity to work in Vox Studios because they wanted a recording engineer. In those times, they need someone that speaks Portuguese. It fits perfect to me. Sometimes we need to have to be lucky. To be lucky is not only to be prepared to be lucky.
Yeah.
But really to be lucky. So, and I say, yes, that's me. And then I did the interview. They text me in Pro Tools.
Why do they need someone to speak Portuguese?
Because there was some companies providing content for Brazilian countries like Portugal, Angola, Mozambique, and they need to dub in Portuguese. And they were doing this job here in LA. And then it started like this. And in Vox Studio, I started to do English dubbing too, not only in Portuguese, but other languages too. And then finally Deluxe came. After 2 years and a half working for Vox Studios in Glendale, I had the opportunity for an interview to work in Deluxe Entertainment, which is a big company, almost 4,000 or 5,000 employees in the world, a lot of studios around in London, Spain, so many countries. And suddenly I had the opportunity to work in English dubbing in a big company, Deluxe Entertainment. They have more than 100 years. It's a very well-established company. And from Vox, that I was working in minor projects, but I work in a Netflix project in Vox. Suddenly I started to work with really big projects and have the opportunity to work in big rooms, and we have theatrical studios to mix movies. So the size of a movie theater, so there are studios to mix movies. So it's big rooms with a lot of speakers, and we mix the movies right there.
So you can hear how it sounds in a movie theater.
Exactly. So we have a lot of stages right there. And it's 5 minutes from home. So my life is easy. I'm working 5 minutes from here, and I love to do that. Yeah. And I'm happy with the environments. The people right there is super kind. And finally, after a big journey here in America, I can say that I'm successful,
And you're enjoying what you do. Like what captures your attention the most? Like when you're working on projects. I already saw a little. You like the details. You like making sure the details are right.
Exactly.
And when it comes to audio, I imagine that's something that you need to. The tiniest details. You were telling me about that hi-hat on that speaker right there, and then
Exactly. We need to be precise, and so sometimes in some details. For example, for lip sync, because we are working in big productions, Netflix productions, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, Paramount, big companies like big productions, but made outside America. So they need to dub it in English, right? So need to English language. So I need to pay attention really well the way it's being recorded. The position of the microphone is really important, to be precise. And I'm always working with a director. So every show that I work with a director directing. And then I need to pay attention with the projection of the voice to match with the original too, You need to look the face of the character right there, and you need to say that he's saying these words. The mouth shape, sometimes we change on the fly, we change the sentences just to match better with the mouth, All of these nuances are part of my work.
You changed the what?
Yeah. With the help of the director, we think about something else to the actor say, just to match better with the mouth for sync.
So these are shows, they're recorded outside, like they're recorded somewhere else, they're recorded abroad, and then they bring them here, they dub them, and
yes,
you have to even change the... Now, as soon as you say this, I'm starting to think about... Yeah. You already know what I'm going to say?
Yeah.
I'm starting to think about AI and how AI is...
Exactly.
You mentioned how it's able to do something like
exactly.
This.
AI, you're super precise right now, because AI is going to take over, of course. I heard that Hulu already have one show dubbed in with AI. And of course, the images can be changed right now, right? We can change the shape of the mouth. Maybe the guy was speaking in Korean, but we can change now to the shape of the mouth speaking English. And also we can capture the texture of your voice and apply to a line, right? To a sentence. But my doubt is, I'm sure that maybe 80% or 70%, 80% of the dub is going to be replaced by AI. I think that, and not so long, maybe in 2 or 3 years.
Really?
It's already starting.
Wow.
But big companies that wants to do dub really well, precise, combine the emotion, because what I'm doing is not a technical work. I'm doing art when I work, because we're with a talent in the booth, crying.
Really?
Laughing, because we need to convey the right emotion to the scene, right? We need to the public to really trust what's happening right there, right? So a bad dub is horrible. I changed the tune, right?
I don't think I've. Yeah. Well, let's see. In English, I think it's less common, right? There's so many movies that come from Hollywood that are already in English, and my experience was always, when I heard something dubbed, it was dubbed into another language.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
So that you're doing.
But nowadays, by law in some countries, the Netflix and Amazon, they are required to produce movies and series in those countries. So they obligated.
How?
Yeah, by agreement. And then there's a lot of great productions, right? Not made in America anymore. So there's a lot of productions made in Spain, in Germany, and Brazil, and so many other countries.
Do you think that's happening more? That I think Hollywood was this like center, right? Of
that's okay, right?
Yeah. Well, let me see. I'll check. It's fine. Yeah, it's good. It's just.
Okay, great.
Hollywood was the center of.
Yeah.
Is that lots of movies were exported and continue to be?
Yeah.
Is it getting a little decentralized, do you think?
I think so. I think this is a common is a thing that is happening now. You can see in the Oscars, for example, how many other foreign movies are really successful in the nominations and everything. So yes, I think there is a lot of great productions outside now, and of course Hollywood is one of the biggest here in New York, but it's growing. Foreign movies is taking. It's not taking over, but it's having more space, right?
Yeah. And even having more space here also, right? With Netflix, what do you think Netflix did when it? I mean, it kind of now you have. I think it's the same with Spotify, for example. Now you can choose music from wherever you want.
Exactly. I think people having access to so many things right now, right? Because I'm from a generation that I like a song, I don't know the name of the song, there's no internet, I cannot, I remember when I like a song, going to a magazine store. We in Brazil, we have like a small places, they sell journals and magazines.
What's it called?
And I buy like a small little magazine with the chords and the lyrics of the songs, and then from there I can learn the song and I can sing the song that I listen in the radio, right? Nowadays we just go to the internet and we can find everything, and we're having access to a lot of great movies because we have the streaming services right now, and people are having access to everything, and this is good because it's improving the quality of everything. Everybody is having access to a lot of things.
Do you find it hard to choose when you're picking your movie? Do you take a long time to choose?
To choose what? Sorry.
To pick the movie that you're gonna watch.
That I'm gonna watch. Yeah. Oh man, let me see. Yes, I remember going to the Blockbuster. The cassettes.
Oh my god!
And to spend 1 hour to choose one single movie, like, oh my god, which movie would look. Oh, this is not good enough. This is not good enough.
That's been replaced, yeah.
Yeah, and now the Blockbuster is our remote control, right?
Wow.
That's the Blockbuster now. I spent some hours to find something that I like. I think I have a specific taste, maybe. Really? There's a point of discussion with my wife because she likes other things, but I like.
Like what do you want?
For example, my favorite movies: Fight Club, David Fincher.
I watch very few movies, and thankfully I watched that one.
Pulp Fiction, really Tarantino.
I love that one too.
Transpotting, Danny Boyle, with Ewan McGregor.
First time someone mentions 3 movies in a row, and I watched them all. Oh my god!
Yeah, they're great movies. Yeah. So I like this kind of stuff, like underground things,
Yeah.
And it's hard to find. One of great series that I watched was like the one HBO Max. So sorry, I forgot the name. We can cut this later.
That's fine.
Vinyl. It was produced by Martin Scorsese, the first episodes, and Mick Jagger too. And Mick Jagger's son, he's acting in the movie. It's great. In the 70s, New York, he's an owner of a record company, Vinyl. But because I have the specific taste, they decided not to do the second season, so it was canceled. Just the first season. But it's pretty good, Vinyl. HBO Max.
Mick Jagger's son was on.
Mick Jagger's son. He was one of the punk band singer. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, it's very interesting. This is a very nice series.
So
Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll.
I haven't watched that one. That's where the phrase came from. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
What?
Is that where the phrase came from?
No.
It was there before.
Yeah, way before.
I'm always curious what it's like for you, coming from Brazil, different country, different culture.
Yeah.
People very different.
Yeah.
What was it like in the beginning?
Yeah, it's a different culture. You have a kind of shock sometimes, and because you can see that a lot of things works better than in Brazil, right? Brazil is a poor country. I'm luckily was living in São Paulo, which is like, I think is the richest city in South America. It's a huge city. Used to be the 3rd largest city in the world. Now I think it's maybe 5th. But
it's the largest city in America.
The largest city in America, exactly. No, Mexico City is the largest city in America. Yeah. Controversies, but yeah. But yes, when I came here, I already knew the United States. I already came. The first time I came to America was when I was 8 years old to see Mickey Mouse in Disney World. Like long time ago. I know how it here works, but there's a lot of different things, right? So, for example, the first thing, the distance of the cars. For example, when I was in the DMV for my driver's license.
Yeah.
I was doing the test and the instructor, hey, you're too close. You need to look the tire of the car. Because in Brazil, all the cars are bumper to bumper.
Here you have to keep an one car distance.
Exactly. This is something that oh my God, really? And then I started to pay attention and said, oh, the instructor was right. But I passed. Even that I was not taking a good distance, the instructor was fine and he passed me. It was the first thing that I noticed. Oh my God, the cars, the traffic are a little bit more organized. And the stop means stop, right? In Brazil, stop. It's just a sign there, written over there. It's nothing,
Unless there's... How is the relationship with unless there's police? If there's police, then you stop. In Brazil.
In Brazil?
Yeah.
If there's police looking at you, no.
Really?
You don't need to stop in the stop sign in Brazil. It's just a stop. You need to. It means that you need to pay attention. That's what people consider. Okay, stop. Okay, let me pay attention. Then just that. But here, people respect a little bit more the laws because crime and the police. People are afraid of police. To be arrested. I think in Brazil is a little bit more loose,
Do you like that? Do you have a preference? Do you like it when people are kind of more following the rules, less
until
loose?
a certain point? Of course, for a society to work, we need to have rules, of course.
Yeah.
And we need to obey the law, of course. I know here in America also there's a lot of. It's not perfect. There's no perfect country, of course. But in Brazil, it's a little bit more loose. People they're not afraid to be arrested because the police. People bribe police, maybe it's kind of a little different. So here I can see, wow, people really respecting the traffic, the traffic lights and everything. So this is the first thing that I noticed,
Mm-hmm.
And
in the people, how was it as far as how to? Because one thing I realized when I was over there, and everyone I've talked to that's from the U.S., they are always amazed. Like, oh my God, the people, they're so warm and friendly.
Yeah.
And I've heard this phrase, a melhor coisa do Brasil é o brasileiro. The best thing about Brazil is the Brazilians. I mean, so when you got here, did you think anything about the people or how people interact?
Yeah.
I feel a little bit like people are. I've always wondered if because we are in the car all the time here in LA, we even when we're outside of the car, it's like we are in the car.
That's a good.
A little bit. We're like we got used to being in this metal thing, and
a bubble,
and we still don't look at it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see. Yeah, for example, to make friends in Brazil is so much easier, right? So I think people are really warm in Brazil. It's a part of the culture of Brazil. I don't know. We have in Brazil. There's a lot of African culture there too. Multiple. It's just like America. A lot of people from the world. Brazil is the second Japanese country in the world. The second country that have more Japanese people in the world. The second country that have more Italian people in the world too. So a lot of Italians in Brazil. So there's a multitude of different countries. But I think Brazil mixes this better. For example, you can see black people with white people being more connected, and they mix better. Here we have the neighborhood of Korea, neighborhood of that. In Brazil, I think they assimilate the Brazilian culture a little better. Here in America, I think each culture is still preserved a little bit.
Especially in LA, right?
Yeah, and here I can see a little bit of more a division. That's my point of view.
More division.
Yeah.
Well, and LA is a good example.
But about the warmness of the people, luckily I'm here in LA, right? Because we have a lot of people from different places. I know in the middle of the United States maybe it's a little tougher for a foreign like me. But now I'm feeling super comfortable here, you know. We're making some friends.
Yeah.
But in Brazil it's a little easier if you go to somewhere like to talk to people, you know, like it's a little easy to make friends. I think they're more open, and they're big good hosts. For example, if you're visiting someone, oh please come, they're
open.
Yeah.
Kind of acolhedor, no? It's the word, I don't know how to say it. Welcoming. They're very welcoming.
Yeah, welcoming people.
And like what I felt was also a curiosity from the people. You know, they heard us speaking English, and they you know, I was with some friends playing pool, and some people just say, oh, where are you guys from? And started really like interested and excited. And that's one thing I noticed. And when I think of Brazil, I think of that excitement kind of for life that I really like.
I think some warmness came from maybe Portuguese people from Latin countries like Spain, Portugal, right? But also because of the African slaves. You know, in Brazil there was 5 million slaves. In America it was 800,000. In Brazil 5 million.
Interesting. I did not know that 5 million slaves came from Africa to Brazil versus 800,000 in the US. And you see it in the music. Like, for example, the other day we were playing
Javan.
Yeah. It's so good.
So beautiful, right? The songs and that he does. So the African culture is really intense in Brazil, and the samba. For example, we have the carnival in Brazil, which is huge event there. To tell you how influenced Brazil are from Africa and everything. So, and my brother writes the samba school. Each year is a different competition, right? The same samba schools, and each one have a different theme they're talking about. They can talk about famous people, like for example, the Brazilian pilot Ayrton Senna, and then the entire song is about Ayrton Senna was so great, and here it goes. Right? And everything related to the customs of the people are related to racing cars, you know, about Ayrton Senna, about these things. So there's a lot of little blocks of the samba school. Each one have the kind of different customs. So, and the jury evaluates all aspects, how animated they are, and if the people are singing the songs. So there's a lot of criteria to define which one was the best samba school of the year.
This isn't all. See, I thought Carnival was only in Rio, and then I've discovered they have it in many cities.
They have in São Paulo too, the same way, like samba schools. The event is a little,
and they're like floats, right? There's these like
big cars,
floats. Right? Each one has a theme, and it tells a story.
Exactly.
And then they're judged on.
Exactly.
Criteria.
Every samba school have like 3,000, 2,000, 4,000 members. They have 1 hour to pass the street, right? To do the entire thing. If they're a little late, they're gonna lose points. They need to be precise, the pace they are. The bateria, they say how in sync is, how good is the drum, how inventive they are drumming. They are also evaluated. Bateria, nota 10, you know. And so there's a lot of access. It's very interesting. So in Bahia is different. There's no samba school in Bahia. Bahia is like a big trucks with a stage in the top of the trucks.
I've seen that. The blocos, are they called?
The blocos, yeah. And then people follow the truck, listen to the music.
Yeah.
And it's not samba, it's different. Because in Rio, they play samba in Redo. It's kind of a type of samba that is, the speed is a little bit more than actual normal sambas. But in In Bahia, it's like a axé. It's like a kind of a... There's influences of samba, but it's not samba. It's kind of a different samba.
I saw people like Leo Santana was on top of a...
Yeah, like Ivete Sangalo, Chiclete com Banana. People using some abadas, we call.
What is it?
With a specific color to follow these trucks with a stage on the top, with a band in the top. So, and they have an isolated area. Then you can go and follow. Just the ones that have this shirt can follow that truck. They sell. Yeah, as abadas. I never been there.
When was the last carnival you went to?
Oh, it was a long time ago, man.
Yeah. Do you miss it?
Good question. Not anymore, because for me the carnival is not only this. It's just a time that you have 4 days, because it's Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, and you have Ashes on Wednesday, right? That you can have fun, like to go to the streets and dance some music and put some costume and drink and to meet friends. So yeah, I miss carnival. Carnival is fun. Yeah. But yeah.
It's I think the craziest time.
Do you know what the similarity with America for here in LA? It's like a Halloween. For example, I remember the first year that I was here, I went to Santa Monica Boulevard, and there was like a kind of a parade with a lot of people using clothes and the customs, and yeah, I see it's a little bit of the Halloween that people dresses like something and have fun sometimes with kind of.
But with Brazilian, costumes that come from, I guess, have more culture or less random.
Yeah. Of course, we have Mardi Gras here, right? Mardi Gras in New Orleans. There's the original carnival, American carnival, right? Yeah. This is really different, right? I
haven't done.
I never understood Zydeco, this kind of music.
I don't know
they
about
play.
Mardi Gras.
Yeah, and carnival in Mardi Gras in New Orleans is something different.
I don't think there was any samba dancing.
The beads.
Oh yeah, and how do you get the beads?
Show your tits, and then kind of these things.
That's not in.
I think in carnival Americans are so amateurs. Like show your tits. Oh, I saw her tits. Well, great. And in Brazil it's so more. The guy kissed 20 girls in the carnival.
There's normal. So there's competitions, is what I'm seeing. There's a competition on the floats, like the floats, and there's a competition also on like samba dancers, right?
Like you mean?
Yeah, the dancers. There's some kind of queen of the samba, or like someone who. Do they do some kind of competition?
No. The competition is between samba schools, really. Samba schools. Okay, but of course, there's dancers in some school. There is isolated dancers that evaluates just how they dance together, because there's a male and a female, porta-bandeiras and mestre sala, and they dance with a big flag, and how they dance is evaluated and also count points for the final score.
But eventually for the samba school.
Yeah.
But then there's like this making out thing as well, right? That's part. Is that how big is that?
What making out?
Well, like I've seen online that there's like even like people like a make-out competition.
A make-out?
So like make out, like you just make out with people, and I mean I didn't look into it like crazy.
What is stand for make out? What is make out?
Make out like a beijar.
Beijar is make out. I didn't know.
Right, make out. Yeah.
I didn't know that. I'm learning. I'm learning new things every day. All right. Yeah. There's some people that there's another part of the carnival that is in a big saloon with a lot of people, and they play music and have fun. People they're dressing costumes, all in there. Of course, and guys, it's easy because everybody's so high, I mean, like drunk, and there's people, there's guys that kiss like 20, 30, 50 girls at the same night,
And it's just like normal.
Just spreading the virus to the world.
Oh my God. Hopefully not during COVID. Let's see.
It's common.
We played the other day that Javan said. Do you want to finish off today by playing... We'll sing.
Yeah, let's sing. Let's finish this interview with a song, right?
All right, we'll finish off with a song. All right, we'll bring the guitar.
All right. Like, but let's reverse a little bit.
Alright. Você disse que não sabe se...
Tá gravando?
Yeah, it's already.
Você disse que não sabe se não, mas também não tem certeza que sim. Quer saber quando é assim? Deixa vir do coração. Você sabe que eu só penso em você. Você diz que vive pensando em mim. Pode ser, se é assim, você tem que largar a mão do não. Soltar essa louca arder de paixão. Não há como doer pra decidir, só dizer sim ou não, mas você adora um sim. Agora vai. Come on. Eu levo a sério, mas você disfarça. Você me diz a peça e nessa de horror. E me remete ao frio que vem lá do sul. Yeah. Insiste em 0 a 0, eu quero 1 a 1. Sei lá te dar, não quer meu calor. São Jorge, por favor, me empresta o dragão. Mais fácil aprender japonês sem braille do que você decide se dá ou não. Valeu!